RingGangRadio.com. Take over. Last mission. Final boss mode. What it do?
Yeah, what's good, yo? Welcome to another episode of Real Talk, where as always, the shit's real, we talk about it. I'm your host for tonight, Pat Scorpion, the New England representative, and as always, I got my man with me. I'm gonna let him introduce himself.
Yo, what it do's? LB Lauderdale Boss, aka Shuttleworth the God, the GOAT artist, RingGangRadio.com in the building.
Yes, sir. Ringing in the house forever and always. And as always, I got my other man with me. I'm gonna let him introduce himself.
What's good, y'all? You already know who this is. Your boy King P, Bodega Boxing in the building. Ring Gang Radio, what up? Let's go.
Hey, Bodega P, straight from the sewer. You know, as always, man. You know, he's keeping us safe from all types of creatures, from niggas with brains in their stomach and giant rats and ninjas, all that shit. And as always, we salute you for your service. And last but certainly not least, I got my other man in here. I'm gonna let him introduce himself.
You already know who the fuck it is. It's your boy Ron, nigga. What's up? Back for another episode. King P, wake your ass up, nigga.
Yo, real talk. I was saying the same thing in my head. I'm like, damn, what's wrong with this nigga? Like, he feels sad. Like, I hope he's okay.
Our P's cool. Sometimes it just beats like that though. But don't worry, we'll get P where he needs to be, man. That's our nigga right there, man.
All right, no semantic battles.
Yeah. All right, though. But Rome, definitely, it's good to have Rome back. Chicago win in the fucking building, man, because he leaves these slouch ass niggas in the breeze, man. Can you dig it? So
Last of a dying breed coming soon.
Hey, you know what I'm saying? So it's good to have my man back up. What was that, Rome?
I said top 5, nigga. I'm
yes,
not
sir.
5 or 4 though.
Yes, sir.
He said top 5, but not 5 or 4 though.
Yes, sir.
You had to change your name to top 3 then, nigga.
And I can dig that too. That's why I say yes, sir. I can dig that. We got some recaps to go through tonight in the preview. But obviously we're gonna lead off with obviously arguably the biggest fight from this past weekend. Obviously Saul Canelo Alvarez.
You mean pound for pound, Saul?
Yeah, there was no argument. This was the biggest fight of the weekend.
Yeah, who's arguing that?
Yeah, no. That's why I said I will lead up with the biggest fight. You know what I'm saying? So Saul Canelo Alvarez, facing the undefeated, ring number 1 WBA super middleweight champion Callum Smith.
Big for no reason, ass nigga.
Yeah, no, and then obviously in the past, me and LB had a lot of criticism on Canelo on various things, from his drug usage to just him being an Edomite. But
plot armor, preferential treatment with the scoring. You gotta knock him out to fucking win 3 rounds.
Fake ass rock with them $500 pajamas he be rocking, shit like that.
Yeah, like we go in, but we know haters, man. Like real talk, Canelo, he did the damn thing, and he looked impressive.
Yeah,
he deserved to be pound for pound number 1. I got no problem saying that. No hating shit. I know I'd be super critical of this dude. He finally got him a marquee signature win. So I'm actually proud of that nigga for that. So
yeah, like I have no support for this because and I have no support because I did rate Callum Smith appropriately. So me and LB both did, and so did P. So it's like, so we were like, okay, this should be an interesting battle. Like, can he actually handle a guy who actually boils down super middle that can easily fight at cruiserweight because he's so fucking big? Like, this nigga's my size, So it's like,
yeah, right.
So it's like,
big size dude.
Yeah, so it'd be interesting. So it was interesting to see if Canelo could actually handle someone like this. So that's why we rated the fight so high.
And Callum Smith, he had a legit shot. Like, I know people talking about he only had 4.5 weeks to train, but look, bro, you knew this fight was highly possible.
Exactly.
Said in interviews himself that, he's been keeping his weight down. He's been training, staying in the gym. So I can't really, yeah, you could get that's the only thing you could probably get at Canelo about.
Like I said, that's the bullshit.
You always want to remain in champion shape. You should always be ready to defend your chin.
Yeah, no.
That's why I can't use it as an excuse. Like,
You can't.
Nigga knew he was undefeated. Niggas know niggas is out to try to pick him out. So you gotta stay on tip-top tape to keep those nigga.
Yeah.
Especially when your name is in the rumor mill for the fight. So he said he was training. I'm gonna take his word for it. I don't want to hear no excuse talking about the 4 weeks wasn't enough. Like, nigga, we knew in the summer you was probably gonna get the fight.
Yeah, so it wasn't like it wasn't like it came out of absolutely nowhere. It wasn't like the fucking Yildirim fight or some shit like that. It came out, so it's like, so we definitely rated this fight. So Rome, so since obviously we haven't heard you speak a lot, share your thoughts on that fight, bro.
Okay, so basically what I noticed was Callum had the advantage, obviously, being fucking 6'7". In the reach, all he had to really do was keep him at bay. But what I noticed was Canelo didn't give him no space. Canelo gave him no space to really wind up his shots, really get power behind his shots. That's why all his shit was new. Every time he was thrown, he was too close to even get his power behind it. And that was perfect range for Canelo to just wind up and crack the nigga. So every punch he was throwing, he was landing, but they weren't even hurting Canelo. They barely turned the boy red. I mean, Canelo was whooping his hands up. It was like the little big brother fighting the little brother who's stronger. You know what I'm saying?
And you had to put him in his place.
Yeah.
Like, yo, nigga, you can't hang no more, big bro. It's over with.
Yeah, and it's wild because obviously, before that, everyone knows that Callum knocked out his older brother Liam Smith in the 9th round, to get a 154 belt from him. So most people were like, so this fight had the revenge factor because Callum Smith is seen as the best among the Smith bros. There's 4 of them that fight, and truthfully, he probably is the best, But
he's not. He's definitely the best. Like. Yeah, Paul Smith is average at best.
Yeah.
Fucking Liam Smith is alright.
He's like 0.5 average.
Steven Smith is cool, but like Callum is definitely of the best of the thing. It's not even a question.
I didn't even know this nigga had a brother. That's okay. You saw the both of them, bro.
Oh yeah, they're a boxing family. Yeah, they're out there. Like Liam and Callum Smith both held belts, so. Like they were talented enough to actually pick up some titles.
He took his brother's belt. That's fucked up.
Canelo has a habit with fighting brothers, but not brothers. If you get what I'm saying.
See what a brother.
Oh yeah, because he fought Cotto and his brother. Yeah, he does have a thing with fighting actual blood brothers. Yeah.
I'm waiting for the Charlo brothers though. He had 2 divisions for that. He fights brothers, just not no brothers. Mecca and the Soul brothers.
No.
Niggas that's gonna match his energy.
No P-Rock and CL Smooth. No Beastie Boys, yeah, but no Mob Deep, no Dog Pound.
You know what I'm saying? So the fight itself, it's just off Callum Smith's his dimensions. Like there could have been a lot of different fight plans that he could have used to actually keep Canelo at bay, And so, but he didn't execute not one thing in that ring. The only thing that he did consistently was go to the fucking ropes, and in doing so, pop the jab. Caleb didn't do that. Throw a right hand, didn't do that.
Even when he did throw, when he popped the jab, I've never seen so many throwaway jabs in my life. Even Kovalev's jabs were more convincing than that.
I wouldn't say all that.
Nigga, even Paul's jabs were more convincing. You want to see jabs. Like, it was wild.
None of it. I'm sorry, none of his jabs were convincing. They literally looked like stat padding of stat padding, but they weren't
He
even
was
padding.
pushing them out to me. Like, they didn't look like real. They was like the same as like the Kovalev jabs to me. It was like the same level. The only difference was Kovalev looked a little weaker because he was on his toes and he was moving. Nigga thought he was Ali or some shit.
Plus, anytime Callum would go for like the uppercut, because the uppercut was there, he would pull it back. He'd pull it short. So I'm like, that was there, and he wouldn't even throw it right. Like,
Because he was afraid of the counter.
Exactly.
He was afraid of the counter left hook.
Yeah, and then Callum Smith decided, earlier he was going to take some shots. And I was like, oh, that's not really a good idea, because Canelo found his body early. It was funny too how Canelo managed to establish a jab first. Like, I was like, are you kidding me? Like, the bigger nigga with the longer reach, and you letting a smaller nigga just bully himself in and establish a jab. Like, Canelo's jabs were popping that nigga's head back like
He was walking him down. He was walking him out the ring. This nigga was escorting him home. This nigga was whooping his ass.
Yeah, like
that shit reminded me of like when fucking like the old Tyson fights where he's out jabbing fucking 6'5" niggas, and you
stacking up the Tyrell Briggses and shit. Like,
it's like, I mean, and the funny thing too is like, I mean, on occasion Kellen would actually try to throw one of his counters, especially his noted catch counters, but Canelo did something that later going to cause I wouldn't say slight controversy, even though there is really no controversy. Canelo,
strategy.
Yeah, it was strategy. Canelo punched his arms and his forearms. It's not scoring punches.
He allowed Canelo to be first, so it's his fault that Canelo did that shit, because I look at it like I'm a short dude, so I put myself in the shorter guys' shoes.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna do all those little tricks and subtle shit to put things in your favor.
Take it from someone who's actually been in the ring. Fucking arm punches are not fun. They are not fun at all.
No, yeah, they're not. They hurt. They hurt a lot, especially if someone touches, because like, I mean, you can, like, if you break somebody's arm, it's not a disqualification. That's a TKO. So it's like,
But that's why I text what's his name? I text pals like, you got Richard hauled.
Yeah, I was gonna say, didn't Roy do that?
Yeah.
Cotto broke something.
And Roy did that after playing basketball the same day. That's how ill Roy is. So
Yeah, and it was wild. I mean, sometimes Canelo would actually try to throw some combinations, but Canelo saw them shits coming from a mile away and just like dodged them shits.
If you see, Canelo was damn near stepping on his feet. Like, there was no distance between them at all. Like, I don't know how he kept looking at him like that. That's crazy.
Hold on, you going out. Like, we couldn't hear like everything you just said.
Oh, I said, Canelo was basically stepping on the man's foot. Callum was creating no distance whatsoever, letting this man walk all the way into his face, throwing punches from straight underneath him. Shit's ridiculous.
Yeah, like, basically,
Right.
Callum Smith allowed himself, like, because he took so many punches, he allowed himself to get ate up by Canelo's offense. And once Canelo got into a groove, he didn't take his foot off the gas, and he didn't gas either.
It was just a steady, calculated beating. Like me personally, I had it 117, 111. I felt like the first half was a little closer, a lot closer actually, because the fight wasn't even a fight after the 6th round.
No, it was
like going back from I think I gave Canelo the first, I gave Smith the second and the third, Canelo the fourth, I think Smith the fifth, and then after that Canelo just beat his ass. Yeah. And two and three were close rounds, like, but I felt like Smith, he did a better job of stepping toward Canelo and letting the hands go, and in those earlier rounds where Canelo was just really just trying to pick his shots. But the thing is, it's like Callum Smith, he couldn't keep it up. Like Rome said, like, he couldn't get the distance right. Like, he was pushing fucking jabs. He wasn't stepping forward, he wasn't stepping deep with the jabs like he's supposed to, because when you got a shorter guy that's trying to get up under you, you gotta nullify that nigga. Like, he didn't try to do that. Caleb Smith has no type of, his footwork is decent, but that shit regressed to Wilder status.
I'm saying like he was shuffling his feet like over the fucking ring. Yeah. Like dude was shuffling his goddamn feet. I was like, "What are you doing?" Like, I mean,
his footwork was something else. Like, I remember there was one instance, I can't remember what round it was, but fucking Callum threw the fucking left hook, and he was so fucking wide and off balance that he's lucky Canelo didn't counter him at that point, because he definitely would have been dropped.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, I remember the part you're talking about. It reminded me of it's a throwback. The Shannon Briggs Francis Botha fight. That was a wild motherfucking fight.
Yeah, wild fight.
Niggas was throwing punches and spinning all the way around. Like, me and my pops was watching that shit live, and he's like, "God damn it, what you niggas doing?" What the fuck?
I mean, there was a reason why, because Briggs went into that fight injured, and he took an ass whooping, and he probably should have lost that fight too. Like, you know.
So that's the level of sloppiness Caleb Smith was resorting to at times, and he made the fight a lot more difficult. I don't know why he started going back to the ropes, and the thing is, he didn't try to deflect any of Canelo's punching. When you have a guy smaller than you and he's aiming for the middle of you, you're not supposed to absorb that energy. You're not supposed to arch your back like a cobra and let those shots dig into you. You supposed to shift and turn them shit. You supposed to pivot them damn straight shots, them straight hard shots to the sternum. You're not supposed to back up and just absorb them with your forearms and your stomach. Like, you're not letting the power dissipate. You're letting it run right through you. You want to deflect it, and a lot of that shit fucked up Caleb Smith. Like, that just
big time. Yeah, because he kept absorbing
him down.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It was like, it's like he just went to the ring just like, okay, I'm big enough, and I've never been down, or never been stopped, so I'm gonna wait for this nigga to get tired, and then I'm gonna come on, or I'm him with a catch count. Honestly, I honestly thought that was his whole strategy throughout the fight.
But he didn't press him enough. He didn't do enough to make him tired, because in the rounds where I had Caleb Smith winning, it was just barely, and it's mostly because he outpunched Canelo. But the thing is, it's not a good look to try to outpunch somebody backing up. Like, not everybody could do it. That's not Caleb Smith's game. Like, he's not Freitas. He's not fucking Keith Thurman. He shouldn't be trying to do that shit. But the thing is, if you're gonna do it, you gotta make sure you're fucking throwing. Like, at least make it look like, Tarver Glenn Johnson won, where a guy is coming after you and you may look scary, but you sending shots though. So it's like, damn, you kind of you fucking it up for everybody to judge, because now we're looking at it like, damn, he's losing the ring generalship battle, but he is throwing. Like, Caleb Smith couldn't even do that. It's like he just literally just let Canelo march him down and beat his ass.
Yeah, exactly. And like, I think probably by mid fight, I was so disgusted. I was like, yeah, I want to turn this off.
I stopped scoring after the 8th round. I was like, this is pointless.
Yeah, it was like
by the eighth round, you knew, like, and it was still early. Like, the 8th round ain't even late to me like that. Like, you could still change shit, nigga. You could change shit in the 10th round. But
this nigga was already showing signs. Like, his face was
he was already out of the fight by then.
Even his corner, I don't know if y'all heard it, but one part when we went to the corner was like, "Yo, you want me to call it?"
Yeah.
Show me something, or I'm gonna stop the fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then there's somebody in the crowd talking about, "Stop taking punches, goddammit!" Like, that's the word. That's what someone said.
Yeah,
like,
that shit was weird.
That was crazy.
I thought that was his family saying that. Kind of like it was his family, I think.
It needed to be. He needed to hear that shit, because it's not a good look, man, when a big guy is backing down from a smaller dude and taking hard shots. He was letting Canelo tee off on him. Like literally, that's how you fight a tall nigga.
The man was a champion, yo. He was a champion, and he was out there like a jobber, honestly.
Yeah,
undefeated champion too.
Jobber.
Jobber moonlighting.
Yeah, like I honestly, like I don't know what I mean. I don't know if, like, if you didn't have the right type of sparring, or I mean, he definitely didn't have the right type of game plan. But it was just shocking to see how piss poor he fought. Like,
And no adjustments. Like I
no.
said, like, if you're not gonna throw punches coming forward, if Canelo is stepping too deep, you need to have the jab and the footwork to still kind of be a step ahead of Canelo, so you could turn him and still be pumping that jab. Like, he couldn't do that shit. Like and that just shows the caliber of boxer, because he's in his prime and couldn't do that with the height and reach advantage.
Yeah.
Like, even Trout, minimized himself getting hit in the second half and was able to outthrow Canelo and outland him. Like, and he didn't have the height advantage.
Yeah, no, I mean, it was just weird. Like, it just wasn't a good look, because, and the fun thing is too is, like, Callum Smith was rated. He was a good fighter though. But now it's gonna be, now of course you got the arguments that Callum Smith was just like another overrated British fighter or whatever. Like, because British fighters, they get their they get their reputations sometimes fairly or unfairly. In this particular case, they're gonna. Callum Smith is gonna be judged off this fight harshly, and he should be.
Because now you could say he's lost 2 fights in a row, and from the Ryder performance, he needed to do better. And this, you could say, was worse.
Yeah.
Because not only he lost, now you can't make a case for him winning 5 rounds like you could in the Ryder fight.
Right, you can't. No, he got his ass beat, plain and simple, and
not even close.
Yeah, Canelo's punishment to his arm. Like, I've never seen an arm swell like that before. Like,
my man had a hematoma on his arm.
Yup.
Either that or his bicep tore too. Like,
Rockman his arm.
Yeah. Like, dude had a Popeye arm or some shit, nigga. So it was disgusting, and I'm just like, he allowed him to get his ass. He allowed himself to get his ass beat like that. So, dude obviously should need to take a long rest. Whatever he was doing, he needs to take a long rest from that. Because
fuck all that. He had long rest enough this summer.
Well, he's gonna. It depends if his arm, something is really torn, he's gonna have to be down.
Yeah, he's gonna heal it, but beyond that, he got to fucking take a good look in the fucking mirror and retool himself, because that performance, man.
Yeah,
that shit was horrible.
Would you say this is the end of Callum Smith?
No, it's not the end, but he should really take. He only has 1 loss, and it was a bad.
It's not the end, but we thinking about if we should renew the series.
Yeah.
if that's a more appropriate way, to put it. Like, are we gonna cut some episodes out of season 2 for this dude, or we gonna let him go?
Yeah.
Because I don't know. This was a bad look.
Send that nigga to a different network, see if he pops off.
Yeah, no, it was just sad to watch. Me as a big dude, just watching a little dude just bully him like that.
You go, why all the big niggas are like extra disgusting? Because I ain't gonna lie.
Because everything
Rob called me up and was like, this nigga is quite big.
Everything you taught me, the 3-foot rule, I'm like, yo, this nigga is letting this nigga break his bubble like a motherfucker. He not even keeping no space. Like, as tall as the nigga was, he should have been walking down Canelo. Honestly. Even if he's that strong, Canelo should have been trying to dodge all his punches instead of the other way around.
Yeah. It was bad too that Canelo was able to handle that workout and not gas out. So, like, that
man was standing up after every round. I ain't never seen that in my life. I've never seen that.
And this is from Canelo? Like, come on.
Like, yo, this nigga is not tired. This nigga threw 100 punches.
Yeah, Canelo. Canelo was firing on all cylinders. Like we can't hear that performance. Like, dude put on the market signature performance against a good fighter. And he literally did.
This is the type of performance we expected him to have against Canelo. I'm sorry, against Cotto.
Yeah.
The younger Cotto.
Right.
The bigger Cotto.
Yeah, older Cotto.
Miguel Cotto. Fuck it, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Cotto that should have gone to the fucking Hall of Fame, Cotto.
You know, but he didn't because chickens had to come to roost for that nigga. So, it was good that he wasn't first. He wasn't first in the Hall of Fame. On his first try. But that's just me being hating and me being cynical. So
yeah, I see Canelo fought so good. This needs to be a hate-free podcast.
I'll leave off my Cotto hate for another time.
You was ready to let Cotto have it.
Yeah, no, because I mean, if you've ever heard me talk about Cotto was disgusting me in his last final years as an active fighter. So when you ever hear me say chickens come home to roost, you 100% sure that I'm talking about Miguel Cotto. But I will leave him out of this conversation for now.
But let me ask you this thing.
What's up?
So, I mean, we all in agreement. Canelo looked good. Caleb Smith got bodied, and he disgusted every nigga 6 foot up across the world.
Yep.
And Canelo made short niggas pat themselves on the back today. So
they did.
Who y'all want to see Canelo in there with? Because right now, it's like only old niggas can handle dude for some reason.
Plant. I want Plant.
You want Plant? Pat, what about you?
Actually, I want Saunders for some reason.
Ugh.
Wow. Nah, look, this is the thing I'm gonna say with that. You got 3 mover styles for Canelo to conquer. 3 eligible boxers. I feel like it shouldn't be 3. 2 of those niggas need to fight each other. So I feel like Andrade and Saunders need to fight, and Canelo could get the winner. Like, Canelo can't fight all you niggas.
Right. I mean, right now, the fight that's up for Canelo for sure is the Yildirim fight. That's gonna be by February. Because the WBC, unless they want to completely fuck over Avni Yildirim, that's the next fight.
Yeah, we'll see how they run that. I want to see Plant fight because I think I think he has a style I think he's a better, he's put together, his style is. It's like he has the 2 best things from Andrade and Saunders, but then he has his own style sprinkled into it.
I mean, his footwork will definitely give Canelo problems.
Yeah, but I think Andrade and Saunders' footwork give Canelo problems too. But I think Plant has more balanced offense than them, to me.
Well, I was gonna say though that Andrade, it might be like, yeah, he's got the footwork, but it might look like he's running, or just, I don't know.
It might look sloppy because the offense ain't. Andre be falling apart sometimes with the offense when he can't get a guy out of there and he's moving. So yeah, I feel you. You right on that. And Saunders, he has the footwork, but then he can't punch that good like that
at all.
And he really has to be letting his hands go.
I don't see Canelo respecting his punches. So, you know what I'm saying? Because Callum, he didn't really he wasn't respecting Callum's fucking punching power. He's definitely not respecting Saunders.
Caleb never got full extension on his shots too. And the uppercuts and hooks, he was pulling them back so far, so he only landed 2 good uppercuts or hooks. And that's supposed to be his go-to punches. So,
but Canelo doesn't respect a lot of people's punches. Canelo respected Triple G's punches, But I don't see him respecting Plant's punches because Plant or Saunders are not big punchers.
Nah, Plant could punch though. I think Plant's offense is better than Saunders and Andrade. It's more balance.
I mean,
I think he's the most talented.
Plant's not a big puncher, but he has respectable power.
Yeah, exactly. Whereas, Andrade and Saunders, I think Andrade has power, but
Andrade has more power than all 3 though. But his offense is just sloppy.
See, and that's the thing. Power and not having the ability to not utilize it. The best. I'll take the guy with the balanced power over the guy who has power but might be sloppy and falling all over the place trying to land this shit.
I'd rather see Andre against Triple G than Canelo, honestly.
I mean, I don't mind that fight either. Shit.
Yeah, no, but I mean, either way, like I mean, obviously 160 or 168, depending on what the situation is, there needs to be more separation in there. Like, I mean, it's hard to like because I mean, obviously there's a whole lot of opponents that could be for Canelo, and also you throw a Charlo in the mix, But the biggest thing is Canelo is not going to fight at 160, or he's not going to do a catch rate either.
They're gonna have to move up for him.
I mean, he said he's not going. I mean, he's going down to 160 for Spence, but that's about it.
And even then, like I mean, he has to release those belts because those middleweight belts, because he's still the fucking middleweight champion. He's not gonna release them. So yeah, Canelo kind of gridlocked the middleweight division right now. Unless he lets them.
But the thing is, it's not entirely. You could put a little blame on him, but these guys still gotta fight each other. Like
right, yeah, no,
people gotta separation.
Right, like I mean,
you knew they wasn't going to do that. You know they was going to sit around and wait for Canelo because that's what they do.
But then that's why you can't give Canelo 100% blame.
Yeah, I mean, like, even right now, I mean, obviously Triple G just got rid of his mandatory. Caleb Plant has fucking Truex next. Andre, who the fuck knows who he's facing? Saunders
might be Liam Williams.
Yeah, I was gonna say Liam Williams is the name I've been hearing. Which is,
that's his mandatory, but who knows if he's actually going to face him?
Yeah, and that fight's not even a bad fight like that. But like we said before, coming off his last fight, it's just kind of underwhelming. You kind of want Andre to go right into the Saunders fight.
Yeah,
get shit moving.
Yeah, but until like 160, 168 has to move, but these guys have to actually fight some opponents, like, and not the mentors. I know with Triple G, I know they're saying after his man, they're trying to get a fight with Jaime Munguia, and I'm not mad at that fight.
But then he did have the Derevyanchenko fight, before that. So it's like he's fighting top 10 contenders at least, recently.
Yeah.
These other dudes,
I mean, Charlo gets all these spots for fighting Derevyanchenko, and that's Derevyanchenko that's already got put through the ringer. So Charlo, I mean, like I said, 160, 168. I mean, they need to really start.
Yeah, I still want to see Andre and Charlo. Andre, it's like Andre got to be in some of these fights. Like, dude was looking like a clown. Like, he was just corny up there, on the broadcast.
Yeah, no, he looks real bad. Well, Charlo's not fighting him, so that's not happening.
Yeah, it's too many that's not happenings.
Yeah, like
every time we mention a good fight, the nigga got to. That's not happening.
Yeah, I just know for a fact that Charlo still holds a grudge against Andre for the shit.
Yeah, of course. You hear him say it, like, but like, to me, look, if we're in a business where we can handle our problems through violence, why don't you put that grudge into the damn, to work?
I'm saying, yeah.
I'll never understand this shit where you diss a nigga, but you won't fight him, but you legally can.
Yeah, like,
stupidest shit in the world in boxing.
I mean, I'm just hoping 2021, like, these niggas like strain themselves out, like, and there's no Caleb Plant ass fights, because I mean, I have smoke for Caleb Plant. I always have smoke for him, but this 2X fight, I really want to go in, but I'm sure I will go in there in a future podcast.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like we getting these retreads, and nobody's improving. No one is looking like they're gonna be a threat to Canelo, and that's why a lot of casuals and even some hardcore fans still want the third Golovkin fight.
Right, because Golovkin is the only one that seemingly the people don't want to believe that he actually took a loss against Canelo, and this actually seemingly beat. I mean, I think he beat Canelo twice. Second fight closer. I know LB's the same way. It's like,
and it's a lot of people. Anytime you see an Instagram post with Canelo or Golovkin, you're gonna see the detractors from both sides arguing that shit. Like,
yeah, especially on Twitter. Like Twitter, this shit
all the time.
Engagement all the time. As soon as and everyone knows. Like the Zone will put it, Matchroom, like PBC or whatever. Like
this needs to happen already, and just so we could all move on. Like this. Finish the shit. Like I don't. Me personally, like I wouldn't mind if Canelo got Plant in May. Golovkin got Munguia. And then they meet in September for their third fight.
Right.
And finally, we're done. This way, Canelo's still getting a super middleweight out the way. Golovkin is getting the next big Mexican kid, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a good fight. You know, it just I just want to start seeing more marquee fights, man. Like you know, all these divisions are loaded, and we getting all these, you know, title defenses, and you know, we don't have enough big fights, and
right, exactly, and
it's just ridiculous now.
It's funny too, because like I said, because we all know. I mean, Charles had their first pay-per-view, and it didn't do too good. You know, for the hardcores, it was, you know, it was fun, but it didn't do too good because it didn't catch. Because it was like, you know, I mean, granted, like luckily it was both Charlos, but I mean, Charlo Durianchenko and Charlo Rosario. It was like,
because people got to stop trying to sell regular shit as pay-per-view.
right.
Don't try to take advantage of hardcore fans by saying, hey, man, you know, this is a hardcore, you know, event. No, nigga, this is a fucking Fox TV event, nigga.
Absolutely.
Put this shit on free TV, and we on some regular shit again. So
And Jermell Charlo is actually the bigger draw, so that bodes even worse for Jamal.
Right.
Jamal got to get a bigger fight, bro. Like,
the
Derevyanchenko fight was cool, but it's not enough, sadly, man. Like,
right, and I was mentioned before, PBC middleweights are not necessarily like Durianchenko is probably like, I mean, Korobov, he should have rematched Korobov on Fox, but Korobov looked like that's a wrap now. Like that expired.
Yeah,
you know, it's like there's not enough PBC middleweights for the, like, pretty much the next generation of PBC middleweights are at 154 right now, and none of them are really moving up, maybe except Hurd. You know, and the Hurd is a question mark right now.
Let me throw one more fight at you. Proposed fight that I'm seeing on Twitter for Canelo, and then we'll just go into Golovkin. I know niggas is bringing up Beterbiev, but now I'm hearing Bivol should be a good challenge to Canelo. And although I always felt like Bivol would be a good match for Canelo, he ain't got no momentum in the game right now, so.
Not once, you know.
He's even more silent than, you know, the Plants and Benavidez is in Andrade's.
Yeah, and I don't understand too, because Bivol it's funny, he's kind of regressed.
Yeah, and he has the tools. He got a good active jab. He has the footwork.
I don't think he progressed. He just hasn't done anything. Like, he's at a standstill.
But it does become regression if you're expected to go forward and you're not going forward. You know, what the Chinese proverb, no action is action. Nigga standing there for like the last 2 years.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny too, because I mean, I didn't even remember his last actual fight, which was back in 2019 in October. I was like, I thought, because I was there at the Joe Smith fight, but I was like, he fought more recently.
Yeah, he fought last year. I can't even fucking remember, but he fought.
Yeah, I don't remember the fight, and I was like,
yeah, and nobody cared. So all you guys out there mentioning, Bivol. Yeah, how about he fight Beterbiev or Joe, or not even Joe Smith? He already beat him. Somebody else, like, get his name buzzing.
I mean, I mean, I'm of the opinion that I feel like Joe Smith has done enough to earn himself a rematch, even though the first one was conclusive.
Well, I would say,
you know what? I could agree with that.
Yeah, like when Joe Smith actually wins his belt, wins WBO belt, then throw him in there with Bivol or Beterbiev, and get some real shit cracking with this unification, But yeah, it's just like we can't do, like, we're all frustrated. Like Canelo, yes, obviously he did, he's WBA, WBC, so pretty much he's the man at 168. But these cats have to separate themselves.
There's just too many moving pieces, and we need the pieces to fucking sit still. Like, everybody's shuffled, the pieces are being shuffled all over the board. There's no clarity.
Right.
And no one wants clarity. It's like everybody's like, pick me, instead of saying, and I'm gonna be the piece you're gonna pick.
Right.
Let me knock this motherfucker over. Let me take this shit. Let me take the bishop. Let me take the rook here and take the knight. Nah, you got niggas just sitting there like some fucking pawns.
And they wonder why Triple G, even after Triple G went to the zone, people wonder, well, why does Triple G get like $100 million? What do you think?
He knocking motherfuckers out and doing it impressive, and he's not dipping in quality. Like shit. Let's get into it. Fuck it. We talked enough about Canelo. I mean, you know, he did good. He pound for pound number one.
He gets props.
Yeah, we give him his props. You know, no hate. The only person I think could touch him right now is Monster. You know, if Monster unifies and win by knockout with the same caliber opponents he's been having, you know, that's the only person I can see eclipsing Canelo right now. Anybody else, no.
No.
Bud ain't fighting nobody worth a damn. Loma
Josh Taylor could probably do it.
Josh Taylor possibly could. If Josh Taylor beats Ramirez,
he's
I don't know if that's pound for pound number one type shit though, but that's definitely top 5.
At least top 5.
Yeah,
it might be top 3. Shit, he top 10 now. Shit.
Yeah, he's top 10 now, you know, but
yeah, he might be like around 8, 9 or something.
Usyk is still top 5, but he's kind of stifled.
Usyk ain't no motherfucking top 5. Stop it.
I mean, Usyk will probably either have to hold a belt to maintain his status. Like, I mean,
Usyk ain't been doing shit. You can't go life and death with Chisora and be top fucking 5.
I guess it's a matter of how long does his cruiserweight run.
That's what I'm saying. Cause look, I don't think Usyk should be above Pac.
Yeah, and Pacquiao needs to fight too.
And he needs to fight, but one guy just beat Thurman, the other guy beat Chisora.
Yeah,
barely. Or it wasn't good enough, you know, it wasn't impressive.
You know, but I mean, bro, this was Triple G. I mean.